In the late 2000s, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were riding high. Both were adored by players and critics, and even today are arguably still the best games in their genre. When the games originally released, Valve could do no wrong, and were seen as heroes of the gaming industry that was already becoming littered with passionless companies who were just in it for the money. For Valve, Left 4 Dead was clearly a labor of love, and they were happy to see their game succeed and cared a lot about the community, so much so that they started working on releasing free DLC. However, after the successful release of the first free DLC on both PC and Xbox, things changed when Microsoft decided that the word free wasn't in their vocabulary. At the time, Valve's philosophy was, you buy the product and you get all the content, and they would live by that, releasing all the DLC for Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 for free on PC. But Microsoft didn't subscribe to the same philosophy, and after the first DLC, insisted that Valve charge for any other content released on Xbox. So then, what was Microsoft's issue with free DLC? Well, according to a former Valve employee, if they could have made DLC free on Xbox, they would have, but Microsoft wouldn't allow the free DLC on their platform, saying that it wouldn't be fair to everyone else if Valve were allowed to release free DLC on Xbox, and that Microsoft wanted to make sure there's an economy of value on their platform. Now, although we don't have conclusive reasoning from Microsoft and Valve, based on the interview, we can pretty easily figure out the motives and reasoning behind Microsoft's decision. First off, the idea of it not being fair to other developers to offer DLC for free is complete bullshit. They could have easily let other devs release their DLC for free as well. It's much more likely that Microsoft and other games companies didn't like the precedent that Valve was setting, and so they shut it down before it ate into their profits. Microsoft also directly benefits from DLC being sold for money, as they make a commission on anything sold over the Xbox marketplace, whereas they wouldn't be making any extra money from the free DLC. And with Left 4 Dead being a popular franchise, they wanted to profit off the DLC sales. Now, to be fair, there would have been some additional cost to Microsoft to host the DLC for players to download. This, however, isn't a great excuse when Microsoft already has players paying annual memberships for Xbox Live, and is already getting a cut when players originally bought the game. This is a pretty clear-cut story of a company that saw a threat to its business and stomped it out before it could become the new norm. But what's really interesting is that in today's gaming landscape, companies have no issue with free DLC at all. Even Microsoft has done a complete 180 on their previous policy. That's because the day of no strings attached free DLC is for the most part a thing of the past. Any free content nowadays has plenty of strings attached in the form of microtransactions. These microtransactions are making companies way more than any paid DLC ever was. It's however hard to say if the shift is for the better or worse. More people are able to access content, but it also pushes players to spend more than ever on in-game items. Even Valve has moved away from releasing their own games and seems to have lost some of the passion and generosity we've seen in the past. Who knows what the gaming landscape would have looked like today if consumer-friendly practices like Valve's philosophy were able to spread to the wider gaming audience. Thanks for watching. I'm releasing at least one video like this every month, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.